What is up, my hippies? How are you doing today? Mark Christopher here with another interview from the Hippie Pick series at John Coleman's Classic Barbershop in Williamstown, Kentucky. Proud sponsor of Hippie Pick interviews. Today, we're going back to the future, because that's never been done before, to interview somebody from the UK. He is coming from a place called Exeter, which is a heavy metal band name in Exeter, UK. And his name is Nads. Now, this guy makes some amazing guitar picks. And I had the lucky privilege of getting to meet this guy online and chatting with him. And today, he's here with us. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring him in. This is Nad. Nad! Hello! Hello!
Hello!
Hey, I can see you.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Camera's playing up again, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's so weird. We're having camera issues. So I was just telling the fine folks watching that you're from the heavy metal country, or not country, but the heavy metal state of Exeter in the UK.
Exeter.
That's
Yep.
such a heavy metal name. Where did they come up with that name?
It comes from the Roman word isca, because we used to be a Roman settlement. We've actually still got parts of the Roman wall here.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
The old Roman soldier garb, you know?
Yeah, man. We've got some in the museum.
That's so cool. Yeah. So, okay. So before we get into our interview, I have sent pics to John Tron Davison of Heavy Reppin', which I think everybody knows. And the address was Exeter as well.
Yeah.
So,
he's like a good friend from down the road.
Yeah. So you've met him. Have you gotten his autograph?
Yeah, several times. I'm getting it tattooed all the way across here. Probably.
I would, John. I want your. I'm just kidding. I don't.
It's a good look.
He's gonna be like, oh my gosh, these idiots. No, just kidding. So, okay, so you're a guitar pick maker.
I am indeed. I am a Plectria.
Wait, what?
It's the apparently, as John once told me, that is the correct term for someone who makes guitar picks. Plectria. I don't know where he got it from, but I trust him.
So this is a show where you learn about guitar picks and the history of not only Roman soldiers, but Plectria. It's a history.
Indeed.
It's a history channel, folks. No, just kidding. So okay, so your name is Nads, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
And you make guitar picks for a company, your own company, not for a company, your company, Arcanum Plectra. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Where did you get that name from?
So Arcanum is derived from kind of magic and stuff, and I'm a huge D&D nerd, and I wanted to combine my love of music with D&D and kind of just make this thing. So that's basically where that comes from.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, if you're a pick maker, you're probably a musician, right?
I absolutely am. Yes.
What do you play?
I play guitar, bass, bit of keyboards, and I also sing as well.
So you're your own band. You don't need anybody else.
Everything apart from drums, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Have you ever played drums ever?
I've tried. I can do 2 feet and 1 hand, but as soon as I bring the other hand in, it just...
So moving parts. It's like...
Yeah, it's way too many.
4, you know? Yeah. Tricky stuff. Okay,
it is.
So you make guitar picks. Do you have any by chance?
I have quite a few here, yes. Some of the stuff I've been working on, so this one isn't listed yet, but it might be soon. This is a new Barbarian that I am working on at the moment. That's an acetate pick. So that's all of the orange parts there are see-through. So if I put a light behind this, actually,
wait for it.
If I do this,
it's
a bit bright, but
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I like working with this stuff, and it's hard wearing too. Got another acetate pick. This is a cleric I'm working on.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty nice as well. I might actually keep that one. So yeah, I've got quite a few bits and bobs. Those are the cleric and barbarian models, and this is the rogue.
It's hard to see it.
Yeah, I'll just get it in the light. There we are.
There you go.
So that is my Jazz 3 size model.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Cleric is kind of like your standard size, kind of, and the Barbarian is kind of my take on the classic triangle pick. So
Nice. Okay. So many questions. Just off that little bit of yeah. So what got you into making picks?
I picked up a bit of spare material at work one day and thought I'll just have a go at making a pick, and it just snowballed from there.
Time out. You made your first guitar pick while at work?
That's right. Yeah, in my lunch break.
That's okay. You're the second person I've interviewed that started out over a lunch break. Lawrence over at Plumstone Picks. He and I had an interview a couple weeks ago, and he said the same thing. Like, he was talking to a friend of his, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to make a guitar pick while we're on our lunch break." And he did.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, creative people can't leave things alone. You know, we'll see something, we'll pick it up, and go, "Oh, I'm going to make something out of this," and before you know it, they've made a guitar pick company. So
how long have you been making picks?
About a year, actually. Yeah. So Facebook reminded me of that. My first prototype picks that were made out of aluminium came up on my timeline for a year ago. For my memories.
This? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a couple of weeks ago that happened. So yeah, that was fun.
Nice. It's okay. So from watching your Instagram channel, I would have guessed you would have been doing this for years.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, no, it's like once you've picked up the techniques that you know work, that's it. You're rolling. Then it's like riding a bike.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that on this channel, especially where I try and teach people who not that they're how do I put this? People who are into guitar picks and they think, man, this is such good work. I wish I could do that. Well, guess what? You can. You
can. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just pick up some material and go at it. See what happens. Yeah. That's the fun thing about this as well. There's no right or wrong way of doing it as long as the end result is functional.
Yeah, it's your way. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, like, let's not rip anybody off. Let's not copy anybody, but do it your own way. Do it original. And you're good.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing that I learned pretty much. One of the first things I learned really, really early on. I was watching one of Brock's videos at BHL Guitar.
Yeah.
And he someone asked him in his live chat why he was so free with his sharing his methods and his information and his knowledge, and he said, well, you know, I don't mind other people getting into making picks and stuff. Just do your own thing. Do something that's unique to you. Don't rip other people off. You know, don't make straight up copies of other people's stuff. Do something that, you know, is different. Put your own stamp on it. And so that stuck with me like straight away.
Yeah. So it almost sounds like, based on what we're talking about, it almost sounds like your love of music and your love for Dungeons and Dragons, and then somebody comes along and says, hey man, you make your pick, but you make it how you want it, how you want to express yourself. And you went, I'm going to combine these two and make something original, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you have a signature pick for Arcanum?
Yeah, my signature pick is actually it's the Cleric, which is my first shape that I made. So that'd be this shape. This isn't the first pick I made. The first pick I made was very similar to this one. Actually, it was purple see-through 3mm acrylic.
Nice.
So these are the first ones that I kind of came up with. This is the Cleric is the one that I'm most known for.
Okay.
That's the one I started out with. But you know, it's grown from there. The thing that is unique about my picks is my signature sweep here on the top. It was originally it was just an aesthetic thing to make me stand out from other people, but it actually it's functional. When I'm holding it, my finger fits right in there, and it just gives me more control over the pick.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the cleric, and then from there it kind of mutated. Like I knew I wanted to do a Jazz 3 size, so I made the rogue, and again I've got that little sweep in there as my signature, and then again with the barbarian, each side has this little this sweep in there, which is basically the same design, just kind of miniaturized.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's my own thing, man. I've picked it up and run with it, and it seems to work. So
Nice.
it's cool.
So let me ask you this, because it seemed like you kind of touched on it, but I just want to clarify. When I started watching your Instagram page and your live videos, that swoop, to me, I'm not playing on one of your picks, but to me it seems like it would fit, that little groove would fit right there and give you more control of the pick.
Yeah, it really does. And originally I kind of I thought when I drew the shape on a piece of paper, I thought it looks kind of uncomfortable, but I'll make it anyway. And actually, it's really not. That little spike there, it doesn't dig in at all. It just nestles really nicely in that part of your finger. So yeah, perfect, really.
So you have names for all of your picks.
Yeah, they're all named after classes of character you can play in D&D.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I mean the cleric is so named because you should always have a cleric in your party. They are the healer. They are the kind of the thing you really need in any party. The barbarian deals the damage, and sometimes when they're using the rage feature, they get 3 attacks. So 3 tips, 3 attacks.
Nice.
And the rogue is small and nimble, and it can do a lot of damage very, very quickly when it strikes from the shadows. So it's Jazz 3 size, and it's good for shredders.
Nice.
So yeah.
It seems like each one of your picks has its own backstory.
Yeah, they do. But I'm more to the point, like the original colors that I did, all of the different acrylic colors, they all have their own backstories, each color. I just wanted to add another dimension. So, for example, this blue one is opaque. I actually ordered transparent blue, but opaque stuff came.
Okay.
And I thought, well, it's a mistake, but I'll use it. And then just the creativity exploded. I came up with this character called Murgle, who's an apprentice artisan. And he was supposed to make a transparent blue pick for a royal wedding, and he came up with that. And they were like, "Oh, that's Murgle's mistake." So from now on, that color is called Murgle's mistake.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like the red color is called the story is about a kind of like a robot, an android lady whose heart is made out of a ruby. And that's what powers her. Yeah, it's such a romantic tragedy, that story. I'll write about it at some time.
That's really cool. So part of this interview series is to get to know the people behind the picks, right? Because you see a pick online, you're like, that's cool, but we all have our own backstory. Like you started making picks over a lunch break, in your picks. It seems like your picks have their own backstory that we could do a whole nother series on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's I haven't fit it all together yet, but the roots are definitely there for some kind of epic, like novel or something. I don't know.
Comic book series.
Comic book series. That'd be awesome.
That's so cool. So when you come up with these backstories, do you post about them online? Like when you
yeah. I mean, when I started my Instagram account and I started bringing all these out, I used to post one color pick every day, and each day I'd post the picture and then kind of like a shortened version of the backstory be underneath it. So the black pick that I have, I've called that Obsidia, and the backstory behind that is that the scouts from the Guild of Artisans go and scour the land for different materials, and they found the lair of a black dragon, and they picked up loads of her scales, and her name is Obsidia. And they brought the scales back and made picks out of them. So that's where that comes from.
Dude, I see a whole nother secondary Hippie Picks YouTube series on Hippie Picks, the backstory.
I'm up for it, man. I'm up for it.
Do the movie, we'll do the whole thing. Can you
Hell
score
yeah.
music?
Oh
Everything
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
everything but drums.
Yeah,
So,
man.
okay, so this is awesome. This is so cool. This is why this series is here to figure out some epic backstories on this. Do you make your own material?
Material, yeah. So I mean, these ones that I've been these materials from like knife makers. So these are already made.
Yeah.
But I have started dabbling in resin.
Ooh.
I've had more failures than successes, but this is a cleric I made from my
Oh,
own.
wow.
The camera's not going to focus. Oh, there we are. Yeah.
Man, that's outer space-ish.
Yeah, I really like this, but I haven't been able to duplicate it since. So it's all a work in progress, man.
What's the name of that one?
Sorry?
What's the name of that pick?
Oh, that's so everything that's got like a funky color, like swells and stuff, that all falls under the Wizard's Alchemy series because I can't come up with a backstory for all of them. So they all get lumped together. So the backstory behind that is the wizards are in their artisan tower and they're mixing materials together and coming out with these crazy, basically it, Wizard's Alchemy.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you made a pick out of alchemy yet? Have you mastered that?
I'm getting there, man. I've got to get some levels in wizard or sorcerer or something like that and level up a bit, and maybe we'll see one day.
Awesome. So all kidding aside though, those are made out of resin, yeah?
Yeah. So that one's made out of epoxy resin specifically. So
it's tough. It's tough to do. I can't do it.
No, it's definitely a science, man. Like I've gone through a couple of batches of resin and really only had a couple of successes. So it's hard work. It's hard work.
Yeah. So I'm going to be 100% honest with you. A friend of mine has made resin and has given me some scales and things to make picks out of.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out and get the stuff. And I've never been able to successfully make resin yet. Now,
yeah, it's difficult.
my niece, she's like a little girl, and she's like a beast at making resin. So I told her, I said, here, take all my material. I'll pay you when you're done. Like, make resin for me. So she's my little resin maker. I can't figure out how to do it.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, no, it is a dark art. Absolutely. You've got to wait until it's exactly the right temperature before you try and do any crazy stuff to it. Otherwise you lose the whole batch. And yeah, it takes patience. There's a lot of trial and error, but you know,
I ain't got the time or patience.
Talking about alchemy and stuff, what's in the mug?
Wizard juice. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what I was going for, man.
No, so it's C4, and today I'm drinking out of my so that's the Honduras flag.
Nice.
Yeah, and so because I'm wearing my Honduras shirt.
Yeah. I
don't know if you can see that, but this is a Cafe Honduras. It's a coffee shop down there. I used to live in Honduras for a little while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I did missionary work, and
cool,
I got to spend a lot of time with some amazing people, man. Amazing people. I got to learn how to make pottery. I got to do pottery while I was there. I spent time with a family who brought me in and taught me how to make pottery with them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I worked with a group of young boys who, I'm a musician, but they know how to make instruments. Like they make ukuleles.
Oh, cool.
They make acoustic guitars, and dude, these guys are so amazing. They're talented. They're young. They got their life together. They're focused on spreading the gospel, teaching other people how to do things with their life. And and I thought, I'll go in, I'll help them. Dude, I was humbled. I learned so much,
Yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Did you blog about it or anything?
Do what?
Did you blog about it or keep any diaries or anything?
Yeah, so on a WordPress, I think it's called WordPress. I did a journal series called Be a Hippie. That's my brand thing.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a lot while I was there. Like I don't want to get too into it, but it's actually really in depth.
Cool.
It was a post I made called "Lies and Other Things I Learned While Making Pottery," and
That sounds deep, man.
yeah. So what had happened was me and another missionary had sat down, and we were discussing one day on a lie that I told in school.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to make this as short as possible because this is your interview. But like, I got in trouble for something that I didn't do. And so I was honest. The principal said, "Mark, did you do this?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Don't lie to me. I'm going to ask you again. Did you do this?" And I said, "No." And she said, "All right, well, here's the deal. I'm going to ask you one more time. And if you lie to me again, there's going to be consequences." So I did. I lied to her. I said, "Yeah, I did it." And she went, "See, isn't that easier?" And I learned a bad habit. Now, when I was in Honduras, this dude was drilling me. He was like, "Why didn't you stick to your guns?" And I was like, "Oh, cause this, oh, cause that." And it was epic. Like the knowledge that he dropped on me that day. He's like, "Man, you should have stuck to your guns," and stand up for yourself, like all this stuff. And it was just really deep. So it's not like I learned how to lie, but like it was a really heavy conversation between me and this other missionary. Yeah. I'll send you the link when we're done. It's a cool read. But yeah, so I did. Thanks for asking. I kind of forgot. I was like, did I write about it? I have a journal and I write in my journal, but yeah. Honduras was actually, that's where I met my wife.
Awesome. That's really cool.
So a preacher friend of mine up here, I live in Kentucky in the United States. He was trying to get me to talk to this girl who lives up here. And I was like, "Dude, I'm in another country. I'm good. I don't want to talk to her." Well, months go by and I ended up sending her a text. And dude, now she's my wife, So Honduras was awesome for me.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But back to alchemy. No, just kidding. How do you come back from that?
Find a new segue.
Yeah, very long off topic, but it was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So watching you, ladies and gentlemen, for you who have not been aware of how he and I met, I was watching a live stream that you were doing where you were making picks, and I just started bugging you, started asking you all these questions. And I learned something from you. I don't think I told you this, so I'm going to tell you now. When I first started, I was using like a hacksaw to cut out my shape as best I could, and then a orbital sander. And then I even tried working with a Dremel for a little while, and that was just horrible.
Yeah, they're hard work, man.
Oh, dude, I envy the people that can do that successfully. I can't. But you were doing everything by hand, and you were like sanding it down. And I was like, dude, I gotta try that. And I learned from you. Like that's an awesome way to do it. But you do
man.
Everything by hand?
For the most part, yeah. The only thing that isn't done by hand is like the standard series acrylics. So this is a blank that was cut out with a laser cutter.
Okay.
Just because I had quite a volume of them to do, and cutting them out with the bandsaw was taking forever. So I just got like an A4 sheet of acrylic.
Yeah.
Got a file up on Inkscape, and took it to my local library who've got a laser cutter, and it cut out a sheet of blanks. But after that, all of the beveling is done on a sander, by eye and by hand. So I use a disc sander for that, and then all of the finishing is files and sandpaper, and then a buffing wheel to polish it up, and that's pretty much it. The only other thing is my Wizard's Alchemy stuff. This comes in blocks, so I have to slice the blocks into 6mm slices, and I use a bandsaw for that. And then I use the bandsaw to cut out the basic shape of the pick. Then after that, it's all sanding and filing.
Nice. So you figured out a way, like what Brock said, we just piggyback to the beginning of this conversation, figured out a way to make these easily, effectively, while holding true to yourself.
Yeah.
And not backing down, sticking to your guns, not learning how to lie when you're 10, you know what I mean? Yeah. This comes full circle. I knew there was a way to get back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And it's all about the community, man. Like everyone just contributes. Everyone looks out for each other, offers advice. There are no secrets in the community. It's so open and friendly, which is a rare thing to find on the internet these days. Let's face it. Yeah. So yeah, man, endless support from everyone who also makes picks or other things. It's great.
It's so cool, and it's like in doing the pick making for me, I was introduced to a whole list of people that I would never like you know, you and I wouldn't have ever had a conversation.
Wouldn't have met otherwise, man.
Yeah, so it's so cool how it just brings us all together. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and we've all just got this passion in common, and then like, you know, we talk like this, and we find we've got other threads that connect us. It's awesome.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
Next for me is I'm working on something that will hopefully replace my Etsy shop. I'm hoping not to sell on Etsy for too much longer. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of reasons for that. But also, yeah, going into exploring resin as a medium and making my own materials to work with, so that these picks are absolutely, truly my own. Yeah. So those are the big things that are coming up.
Cool.
If all goes well.
Yeah. So where can people find you now? Not Etsy, because you're kind of.
Yeah. So at the moment I'm on there, but all of my news, all of my updates about where I'll be selling from, everything like that, it all goes through my Instagram at Arcanum Plectra, all one word.
Link will be in the bio. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that, man.
Really, this has been a great conversation, my friend.
Yeah, this is awesome, bro.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we part ways?
Yeah, man. I just want to say, you know, thank you to everyone who supported Arcanum so far. Thanks to all the other makers who have been so free and giving with advice and friendly. And thank you to my main play tester, John Tron Davidson at Heavy Repping, because without his advice, these would just be blocks of I don't know what.
So he's your test pilot.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously I play them myself, and although I find them comfortable, I need to know that other people are going to find them comfortable. So anything new that comes out, I always send his way, and he gives me a very honest blow by blow of what's right and what's not, and I just use that and go forward with the new knowledge.
Nice. I have a group of guys that I call my hippie camp, and they do the same thing. I'll make them like, what is this? I said, don't ever do this again. Okay. Make more of these. Okay, yes, sir. You know,
it's good to have those people at your back, man.
Yeah. Because I mean, like now, and I don't want to discourage anybody watching this. You know, you make something, you be dang proud of it. You know, like that's talent. And if you want to sell it, sweet. But you know, also like get some feedback, because I can make a piece of junk and be proud of it, and that's okay, you know. But if I want to sell this and make a career out of it, you know, like get some feedback, because you know, we're not here to lie to you. We're not here to be like, you do a great job and it not be good. We're here to encourage you to do a better job, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just like we all just want to be the best we can be, and without positive, like reinforcing feedback or constructive criticism, you know, we don't get to that point. So we need that. Yeah,
we do. Well, Naz, I appreciate you taking the time, as late as it is, whatever time it is.
It's not too late here.
From the future. Hey, am I going to win the lottery? You know, you're in the future.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. I should buy a ticket. Just kidding.
And so I was trying to word that in a more mystical way, but I can't think on the fly.
It's okay. No, I greatly appreciate your time, and
Thank you, man, and you.
definitely we'll post this video and get as much traffic headed your way as we can. You know, it's the
That's
goal.
awesome. Thank you very much, my friend. It's
Thank
been
you.
awesome talking.
Yeah. Well, you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much, dude.
Yes, sir. I'll see you later. That was my friend Nads. He's an amazing guy, very talented guy that makes picks. He's been doing this for a year. It seems like he's been doing it way longer than that. But that just goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, you can do anything you want. Like what Brock said, you know? You can do it. We'll help. I'll give you advice. Contact me. You know, he'll give you advice. Contact him. But make it your own. This guy has taken and made beautiful pick art without sacrificing his integrity or who he is. He's making these picks from the heart, his way, with his style, with his input, and with his creativity to make a unique, amazing, awesome guitar pick. I strongly recommend to go check him out. But that's what this channel is about. To introduce you to people who you would not have otherwise met or known, but to also encourage you to do anything you want to do. If you want to make a mandolin, make a mandolin. I know you can do it. And if you can't, figure it out. I have faith that you can. If you want to make a guitar pick, make a guitar pick. It may turn out different than this. That's okay. Make it your way. Make it unique. Make it you. Because ultimately, we are all made individually. We are all made with unique talents that only you can do. You are special. You are not like anybody else. You are created by God to be you. And ultimately, we're here to encourage you to let that shine, to run with it, to figure out what makes you you, and then use it for you. Don't copy anybody else. Don't try to do what's already been done. Do something that lets you be you. And do not sacrifice, and do not back down from what's in here. Because you may not be a Dungeons and Dragons fan, that's okay. Whatever you are a fan of, you can turn into beautiful art that is yours, and yours alone. I'm Mark Christopher. This is Classic Barbershop in Williamstown, Kentucky, a proud sponsor of Hippie Picks interviews, as well as Landrum Investments, who also sponsor this show. If you have a unique story, if you're a pick maker, if you're a fan of guitar picks, heck, you just want to chat, get a hold of me. I'll put you on the show. I have no problem putting anybody on the show because you are unlike anybody else you've ever met. And there's only one you out there. Listen, I love you. God loves you. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, because you gotta say that. And to be a hippie!